James Liu.
Not a newcomer, as the commentators would lead you to believe.
Drew Miles and Justin Miller. Now, of course, you're taking a dig at, you won a Baltimore Team Open last year.
Yeah, and it was not recognized. Recognize me.
Stop. Leave him alone.
I'm joking. Don't hurt me.
We'll talk about the two matches we did get to see on camera there in the finals.
Yep.
A crazy game 3 against double ROC champion, and you were sitting there, I saw you thinking, spinning, trying to figure out the way to beat that.
Yeah.
You find the faithless looting, and then it kind of all unfolds from there.
Yeah, for sure. At that point, I knew that my creature draws obviously weren't getting there. He had 3 ROC champions at that point, and at that point I knew that every creature I played was going to get him 3 life, and that was me discarding a card. And there's no point in me putting myself down a card. So at that point, I knew my Phoenix was my route to victory, and I had to get there. Unluckily for him, luckily for me, I left 1 spike in. I cut 3 of them, and I just happened to rip the 4th. And as soon as I saw him name Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, what was going through your mind? Because they paused for a while, and they were discussing it, and he said, I'm thinking Lightning Bolt, and Casey even said, what about Lava Spike? And, and Evan was like, well, I think they side out some of those.
Yeah, so it was really a luck thing. That one was a real hot rip. I had him dead to 4 cards in my library, and that just happened to be one of them, and that happened to be the luckiest of them. The other ones, and he considered, when I heard them talking through what they were considering naming, and every option they considered naming was correct, and they just.
The other one was the flashback one.
Yeah, Lava Dart, or Forked Bolt, because I run one of that. So. I got real lucky and ripped right. So
meanwhile, all this is unfolding. You're waiting for your game 3. You've mulliganed to 5 cards. You have the turn 1, just nuts, sitting there waiting, hoping to get the camera to come over. He delivered, and we got to see that. We got to see both sides play really tough.
Yeah, it was a really hard game. Yeah. It was wild. No, that was a fun hand.
Yeah.
Talk about your deck selection this weekend, because Hogak was everything in Modern. Obviously, you're playing Mono Red Phoenix.
Oh, yeah.
Rin and 6, and these 4 color piles were everything in Legacy.
Yeah.
Show and tell here.
Yeah.
And of course, you're playing a Bant pile like many other people this weekend.
Yeah. Escape
but we'll start on these 2 here.
Yeah, you can go first.
So I've played a lot of Legacy. I've played Delver decks. I've played some of the blue control decks. I played Miracles every once in a while. So kind of like making a tour around and just trying everything out. And lately I've just been playing Sneak and Show. To be honest, I borrowed the deck from a friend like a month and a half ago for a different, like super small local thing, and I forgot to give it back to him. And then, so I still just had it.
Right.
So I brought it.
Yeah, none of us knew we were coming to this until less than a week ago. We were like, hey, let's go play Richmond. And
the deck feels very strong. No, it's definitely hard against every blue deck. The Mox Diamonds are good to see.
And it's pretty nice when a lot of the people who are aiming to beat up the Delver decks are these Merit Lage decks, and you're pretty good against those.
Yes. Yeah. It's very fast matches.
All right, what about the Phoenix deck?
So, believe it or not, I'm a blue-white player at heart. Blue-white control was my first ever Modern deck, and I played it for like 3 years. Around a year ago, Jeff Carr, when he started playing Mono Red, he actually went to school with me. And I remember the day that he discovered and built that first shell, he came into our student organization area where we're just playing, and he goes, Drew, I broke it. And I'm like, you're out of your mind, what are you talking about? So he came in and he had this shell, and that was the one he ended up getting second with that first Baltimore. But we sat there and we jammed and we jammed and we jammed, and I literally played against that deck probably 100 matches in a week. Like we were just jamming nonstop. And so as he grew with the deck and as he started performing with it, obviously I wanted my own taste. I saw it performing, and him and I literally every night, whenever we get to play, because I play 2 to 3 locals a week, he's playing online a lot. We are going back and forth with single card changes, main board, sideboard, throwing every idea back and forth. And I performed well with it. I did well in IQ with it a couple weeks ago, and I think it has a deceptively good Hogak matchup. I think game 1's obviously nobody can win against Hogak. That's its thing. They play a free 8-8, you lose. But post-board, I can just race, and my birds are really hard for them to interact with. I was 5-1 against Hoback on the weekend. I feel like it's one of my best matchups.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
James, another open title here for you.
That's true.
The newcomer.
Yes. Is that
Talk
going to
about
be
your
my
deck
title?
choice this weekend.
Oh, well, like the last Open, my deck choice was entirely decided by which cards I had or owned. So I asked these two guys, and I was like, yo, what standard cards you got? And they were like, you're out of options. So I borrowed a half.
He had one breeding pool.
Oh yeah, I did borrow one breeding pool from him and one from a friend. Half the deck is borrowed. So it was that it was Manscape Shift or Esper Control. And I went 0-4 in Esper Control League, so I was like, nope.
No.
So I was doing really well in Swiss until people started playing Bant Pile, Bant Ramp, and then I realized playing Bant Scape Shift is miserable, and I really hate this deck.
I think we can agree that Ramp is definitely the better Bant deck right now.
Yeah.
I think you had some sick rips throughout the weekend, like you need to in any tournament.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, you were hot during the day 2.
Yeah, I was really hot in Swiss. So.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes that's how it works. Someone has to get you to the later rounds, and then you close it out.
That's true. That's true.
For sure.
Any closing thoughts, shout-outs?
I'm giving my shout out. I'm giving my plug. Titan Games and Hobby. I'm there way too often. I live right around the corner. It's where I'm playing all my locals. That's where I've met a lot of the people I test with. It's really my stomping ground now. And thank you to everybody there.
It's a chocolate.
and also thanks again to Jeff, because like him and I have worked tirelessly on this deck. There have been so many nights and so many locals and IQs and whatever that we've traveled to that we've just jammed through so much with this deck, and it feels good to put up a result with it. Seeing both of us work on it.
I want to give a shout out to I want to give a shout out to Alex Frizola and Roshan Ipin. Hopefully we'll team again in the future.
Thanks, David. I'll get your deck back sometime.
All right, congrats, guys. We're going to send it back over to Craig and Brian to close it out here in Richmond.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the booth here at SCG Richmond. I'm Brian Gottlieb. This is Craig Krempels, and that's about it. We have seen the conclusion of our tournament. We have chatted with our champions. A big shout out again to Justin Miller, Drew Miles, and of course my favorite player on the SCG Tour, multiple time SCG team tournament champion, James Liu. Crushed the last SCG Baltimore Open with Green-Black Constrictor. Absolutely love him as a player. Every time I see him play, just kills it. Shout outs to you, James. Fantastic performance this weekend. Craig, anything you want to say to wrap up the weekend before we send it on out of here?
This is just another great event. I really enjoyed the city, Richmond. Had a blast, a lot of great food here, a lot of friendly people. The venue was great, plenty of room, felt comfortable. Everything ran smooth. The staff here, just incredible. Star City puts on such great events. If you don't want to travel all the way across the country, Star City is the tournament circuit you want to be playing on.
Oh, I travel across the country for Star City.
You did.
I come all the way out here. I come 3,000 miles every time we do this, and I don't regret it one bit. I have a great time every time. I want to give thanks to all of our players who participated this weekend.